Welcome to Stars Podcast. Through self-defense, mixed martial arts, nutrition, family, and all things in between, we share our journey of how we hack our mind and body to get the maximum return out of each day. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the journey. All right, guys, welcome back. Stars Podcast coming at you. This is your host, Ron Jordan, and co-host in studio,
Aaron Diaz. What's going on?
Oh, man. Dude, what a crazy, just fast week. I blinked and it was like, it's Friday.
I know. And you would think last week, with it being a short week, would be faster. But no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was busy at work. After work, it was just like nonstop.
Well, when you have that short week, it takes a little bit for that to catch up to you on a workload standpoint, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, as soon as everybody's done bullshitting about what happened over Labor Day, things been piling up.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least, I don't know if I'm speaking for everybody, but for sure myself, I let a couple things pile up, and it was time to go.
It's kind of crazy now because I'm a paper pusher. And, oh, gosh, it's just bananas. Paperwork just continue to pile up. And it's that job, like, the next person can't come and do it. Like, it's all on you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
I was watching a video about a safety meeting at our electric utility. So every morning, typically, they have a safety meeting. Like, the crew gets together and then they divvy out jobs. They're having a safety meeting, and the safety guy is giving his spiel and everything. And he goes, listen. And he's got this real high-pitched, squeaky voice. So it's really funny. Southern.
A little twangy.
That's a little squealy, just squealy. And
like he could probably be a good comedian type voice.
Yes.
Perfect.
Just you look at him and he starts talking and you like him because his voice is hilarious. Yeah. And he's got a sense of humor on him. So he's going through his safety meeting and he's talking about, listen, if you do these things, you don't even understand how much paperwork is behind it. And then the guy, he goes, well, do I have to report some stupid thing? I don't even remember what. A bang knee? He goes, somebody throat punch him. Any other questions? And then he goes, that concludes our safety meeting. It was so good. And his voice is hilarious. I wonder if I can pull it's on Instagram. I followed I don't know who runs it. I don't know if they have a name on the actual site, but it's High Voltage Industries.
Okay.
And it's on Instagram. And they actually show a lot of cool stuff too. Similar to what you guys do on the personal defense side. They're doing it on the high voltage energy side. And it's really neat. Because that's what I sell.
That's a cool market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous.
I don't want to have anything to do with electricity. Like, my whole garage has been out of power for a year. Because I don't
you won't
want
touch it?
No, yeah. And it has the old knob and tube fusing in it. And, like, remember the old fuses that you had to unscrew that were glass?
Yeah.
Yeah. It has that incorporated with new stuff. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. But
I bet you, have you ever asked Jason about it?
I'm sure Jason would come on out.
I bet you he would help you out.
Because
that's dangerous stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's fire hazard type stuff.
It's pretty, I think.
I don't know.
I think he did a good job. The one that set it up, the owners before me, he did a good job putting it together because he put like 220 out there. I don't know what he was doing.
Well, maybe if you wanted to put any motors or anything out there.
Yeah, because he was a tinker. So he was messing with like bike engines and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sure he had to have some higher output out there.
Yeah,
to run that garage. I know my dad had to do the same thing. He had to upgrade his circuit breakers or something.
Speaking of garages, my garage is worth more than my house on my insurance.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So
because your house is older? Or
no. So the only thing that I'm thinking about is because they probably assume you have like cars or any kind of like big equipment that doesn't fit inside your house. Maybe you might have a refrigerator. You might, and they're probably because they overestimate everything.
Sure.
Yeah, it's better than underestimating, right?
Oh man, especially on an insurance side. Yeah, go ahead and overshoot that, no problem.
Yeah.
Because whenever I file a claim, I don't want any bullshit.
Right.
We had to file a claim in the basement here.
Yeah, you had some water issues, right?
Yeah, flood damage. It was bad. It was. I bet you it was an inch up, and it was all because the sump pump went bad. Not went bad, but the power went out to it. It just reminded me. I still need to get that apparatus that allows it to.
The pump.
Yeah, that you can manually get it out, get the water out. Because I looked at generators. God, generators are like thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
plus you have to have somebody do a power converter.
When you need it, man. I mean, that's like something.
We live so close to a substation, though, that we're rarely out for very long. And we're on the same circuit as a lot of the university, like the university housing. Mm-hmm. We're on the same circuit as them. So they need to make sure that that's always on.
Yeah.
Because that's a big customer.
Oh, absolutely.
Of theirs. So we always luck out in that respect because we're on the same circuit. The circuit that went from Grove City, the big poles.
Yeah.
The 138 line that came through there.
Yeah.
We bid on that job to do those steel poles. Like those big steel poles, we sell those.
Wow. And they're
massive.
Yeah.
That was a First Energy job. That was connect 2 different substations up that way to increase reliability and redundancy on the line. Well, to make sure that the lights stay on for longer. And if they had to switch from one to the other, there was enough redundancy on the line that they could then switch it on and off and then figure out the problem. It's so
welcome to the Voltage podcast, and we just go start talking about.
I know, but it blows my mind those switching stations because all they are light switches.
Really,
if you think about it, if you don't think too hard about it, that's what they're doing. But you see all the equipment in those stations, and it's all for power conversion. Well, transfer, and it's.
I knew Grove City was generating their own power for a while, and that kind of left our electric bills were fairly low.
Yeah, I don't think they have no generation plan anymore.
Yeah, it was a guy that was selling it off, and the borough bought it. This was some years ago, though. So yeah, it could be all updating now. I mean.
I'd be interested to know what that is, what you're even talking about, because they haven't generated power in Grove City. I'd say it's a long time. I don't even remember them doing it. I've been doing this for about 10 years.
Yeah, well, when I was a cop there, it was in 2007.
So that was before, yeah.
Yep, so that's, I mean,
because
doing this for a little bit, Ron.
No, I get that. Well, the reason I say that is because like a lot of the power generation plants were shut down as part of the Clean Energy Act.
Oh, okay. I got
because they just could not get up to standard.
Right.
So it shut a lot of them down. And from that, all of these other ones got burdened with all of that extra voltage. And there's been a huge push to, if you are building new, to like build for way in the future because they don't want to have to get rid of these places.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of messed up. Well, there's good and bad with that. So you got government telling small businesses how to run their business or how to make it, and it's beneficial in the long run. I see that, but now these people can't like stick up to it. They can't. Keep up.
These small towns don't have the manpower to make it happen. I mean, maybe if there was a facility there, then the manpower would come. There's an argument to be made there. But the consolidation of those power generation plants has been a good thing for the industry, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because think about with anything. You think about even with...
I just hate to see small businesses go. You know, you got people trying to maintain a legacy for their family, and then all of a sudden it's like, you guys can't keep up. We gotta put you out.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the local movie theater. Like you want to see small town movie theaters stay open, but they got to put $85,000 into a new camera or a new screen because of the upgrade in film. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they can't just keep up. So it's kind of, I like to see little stuff.
You know what I would like to do?
What's that?
I would like to rent out that old Grove City theater.
It's not old. It's all redone.
Yeah, I know, but it's historic.
Yeah.
And do a jiu-jitsu tournament there.
I don't know if
don't they have a stage?
They do.
That's how all those other jiu-jitsu places do it. I just think it'd be a cool venue.
Oh, it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was for sale for a while.
I know, but whenever they ended up purchasing it and they fixed it up, it's really nice in there.
Yeah.
I've been in there a couple of times. Do you guys go to the movies there?
We haven't gone.
Yeah.
We got little kids. For us to go to a movie, I mean, that's like a $50, $60 night. You know what I mean?
I get that.
And we don't know if the kids are going to stay still or even enjoy the movie. Mm-hmm. You know, you go in there with hopes, and then it's just like I spent
they're just
60.
a little young yet.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
No
problem. It's not to knock it, but the experience is not a good one when you...
Well, I appreciate that as somebody who has no children of that age trying to go and enjoy a movie. I certainly appreciate your candor in explaining why you don't do it, because you ruined my night. You ruined my night.
Yeah.
That was I was watching a video today. It was a Facebook video, and the kid, he was talking about, he's a comedian. He was on JP Sears. I don't know if anybody watches JP Sears. I think the guy's hilarious. He's a whole different story in himself. But this guy was featured on JP's page, and he was talking about being a non-parent around people that are parents.
Yeah.
Oh, when I want to have a boy because they're easier. And then the next clip, I want to have a girl because they're easier.
Yeah.
If I have a kid, he's never eating anything processed, you know?
There is
all
nothing.
Those parents that aren't parents, it's like, dude, if I can put a plate of Velveeta in front of you and you eat it, some days that's a win. That's a win.
Some
days that's a win.
Oh man, the day in the life of having a parent with little kids. I mean, I can't do my best thinking on my porcelain throne by myself. Like, my minions are in there with me, and it's like they would look at me. What you doing? Like, what does it look like I'm doing?
Yeah.
You know? And as my daughter is eating a donut, I'm like, what? This can't be real.
Yeah.
You know?
This is real.
I'm talking about pooping, guys. I'm just saying.
This is real life. That's so funny, though. But then they watch what you're doing and they do it.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So it's hilarious.
It is. So you try to
I never had that issue. Because Alyssa always worked from home.
Uh-huh.
So if I was here and B was here, then I could be in the bathroom by myself.
Yeah.
But, man.
That's your only getaway, bro, sometimes. Like, it's... Mm-hmm. So, hey, even at work, right? So,
yeah.
I don't smoke. People get smoke breaks. So I'll just go and chill out and lock the door. But, yeah. Oh, speaking about winning. So I'm driving over. You see my big old mug here, right? I got one of them. Look, somebody made that. My niece made that for me.
Yeah, that's cool. Neat.
So it's semi in a cup holder. Okay, big old mug, semi in a cup holder. So it's not really fitting right.
Okay.
Go to accelerate, boom, get the dump, right? And you know, any other day it probably would have been like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to go to work. Now it smells like coffee. It didn't get on me. So that was win number 1, right? 2, I look back to see where it landed. I pick it up, and it's a little wet. It fell on a roll of paper towel. Like, these are random things that are in minivans, people, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just a roll. It didn't get on the floor.
It's always handy.
Nothing. It was great. I look back and I'm laughing to myself, myself. I'm like, that's a win, bro. That's it.
I don't have to get paper towels to clean this up. It did it itself. Well, now you know where you need to put paper towels.
Right there.
There. That's where they got to stay. So you hear that, Ford? Paper towel holder.
Paper towel holder. That's it.
That is great.
Kind of like something that you would have in your kitchen or something. You know, with like a nice roll and everything. But what would guys do? They would probably put it right on top of the roll holder, so you're not.
Oh God. Yeah, you got the extra roll, but you didn't put it on.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
That is the worst.
Dude, you know what's the even worst? Here we go. Is
Winning and losing in life, people.
When you go into the bathroom, your kid's bathroom, and there are 2 empty rolls on the sink, with a third roll full, and the other roll that's on the roller is empty. Like, how many times have you went to the bathroom to make this happen and still haven't thrown those away? Like, how many times?
It's recycling, bro.
It's not. No, she's not doing anything with those.
I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt.
She's like Chris's example of why you do things a certain way on the gun course. Because not stacking the training, but he said those FBI agents, they were stacking the bullets.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were told to do on the range.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, she's fucking stacking toilet paper the same way.
Who trained her in that? See, she went and watched you, and you probably did it.
I never have done that. I am one. Okay, I won't leave it there, but I will put it on top sometimes.
Yeah,
just to be like, yeah, I got it here, but I'm not the one who emptied it. Like, that's the message I'm sending.
That's your mentality?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the one I'm sending. I get mad. I get mad whenever I sit down and I start going, and then there's no paper to wipe.
Yeah.
That is the worst.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's when you're picking up, like, the...
Yeah, you're looking for wash rags.
Anything.
Something I can
carpet.
Something real dark that it won't ruin it. Oh, my God. This is disgusting.
Yeah.
Sorry, moving on.
We're going down a horrible toilet. But, hey, look, something... I was talking about this earlier. Did you see this latest article from Governor Wolf in Pennsylvania? How the mask mandate. So he proposed that it be a misdemeanor if you're not wearing a mask. That's a tough pill to swallow. Not saying that I'm totally dead set against face coverings. I don't want to get all into it. I mean, it's I don't know. But to mandate and create a misdemeanor, what's that doing? We want to talk about defunding the police. We want to talk about the interactions and how they can escalate. You're going to have a police officer now coming to just stop by anybody. You're going to give the bad cops some good authority to try to do some horrible things just because. So a misdemeanor goes from a misdemeanor. Now you have to identify the person. You're able to search the person. And it starts to get a little slippery slope. See where I'm at? You still searching for this thing?
Yeah. This proposed legislation was introduced as other U.S. states and local governments weigh penalties for failure to cover one's face. They said they could potentially face a misdemeanor charge if they refuse to follow the state's mask mandate in public during the coronavirus pandemic. A bill introduced in the state Senate earlier this month would classify not wearing a mask as recklessly endangering another person, a second-degree misdemeanor. They're just trying to get people to wear masks. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Yep. And like I said, that's bringing on interactions with the police.
Yeah, I can hear you on that for sure. One of those questions too is what we're doing. What we're doing now. I don't know what the numbers are. Like, I am so far out of this.
Yeah,
I'm not keeping track.
Keeping track of our numbers?
Of any of it. Like, I'm so unplugged from the pandemic. I have no idea what's happening.
Which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, like, I know that I have to wear a mask, so I wear a mask everywhere. Other than that, I have no clue. If we're spiked, if we're not, if we're green, I have zero idea. Zero.
Yeah, but you know why? Because you're living your life. You're doing things that's not impeding on anything that you're doing. What it's doing is making longer waits in the restaurants, I'll tell you that. So, but he did just pass that they can go up to 50% in restaurants, so that might help the restaurant businesses.
I was talking about that with somebody else too. So these building occupancy, that's what they're basing those off of. So like an occupancy of certain areas. For me, I feel like they're small areas. These restaurants, you can still hold 162 people. So if you think about 162 people, if you're at 20%, we'll just say 200 because I'm sucky at math.
Yeah.
Let's say that you have an occupancy at 200 and you're allowed to do 25%. So you got 50 people in there. That's 50 divided by 2. So that's 25 couples.
Yeah.
That's a lot. You talk about maybe 6 families at a time. You turn tables at least every hour.
Yeah.
But if you bump that to 50%, you're I don't want to say basically back to normal because I don't know the restaurant business, but I'm just thinking from number standpoint.
Yeah.
50% could probably get you back on your feet. You
think? I mean, from what I understand about the restaurant business, their profit margins aren't very big.
Yeah, they're like single digits sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's 5 to 8%.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not a lot, man. Mm-mm. So they can easily, and then when you're dealing with like perishable items, things that go bad like really fast, like that's tough. That's tough. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with the restaurant business.
Me either. I was watching something the other day though about the spoils from the restaurant business, like all the extra food.
Yeah,
and how there's a lot of companies out there now that are taking that and giving it to people who need it.
Nice.
And local, because no matter where you're at, there's always people that are hungry.
Right.
I mean, even in these little town of Slippery Rock and Grove City.
Yeah.
I mean, we have people that are hungry.
Right.
So.
Well, the food pantries stay pretty.
They stay so busy.
Yeah.
They're like behind the scenes, really helping people out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anytime we can give them love, do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've always been inspired by them, and that comes clear back from a class that I took in Slippery Rock University.
Okay.
I don't even know what the class was. It was some sort of cultural class, and it pushed me to go to a few different. There was a museum, a Holocaust museum, down in
DC?
Squirrel Hill.
Oh. They
have one down there, and then it also forced me to go and donate time to some organization, and I picked the Pittsburgh Food Bank, and I did 40 hours there. I've talked about this before. It was not ordered by any police officer or probation officer. It was by my own will. But the people I met there and all of the food that we ran through and the lines of people that were needing it.
Yeah, well, big city. I mean, Pittsburgh is it's not a huge city, but the population is
and this was right down by Kennywood, so I got to pass Kennywood every day.
Oh, that's a tough area.
It is a tough area.
What's that, Homewood?
Homewood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I
used to work in Lawrenceville at a group home.
Oh.
You want to talk about rough neighborhoods? I was in the other side of the tracks in a group home.
Lawrenceville now. I mean, they've done some really
some enhancements.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing about those enhancements, go one street back from the main road.
Yeah.
It's like, this is crazy.
The Garfield area, like they try to change pretty bad area to the Garfield Artworks like center. So they're trying.
They're trying to beautify it, but it just pushes the problem just a little further back.
Yeah. Yeah,
which is what
gentrification.
I get irritated with. You know, you force people out of homes that's all they can afford,
right?
Because you want to beautify it, because you want to put an Arby's next door.
Yeah, well, that's what they did in D.C. And they moved everybody to Prince George's County in Maryland, and PG County is no joke. Like that's a tough go-to,
and that's right outside of Baltimore.
Well, no, it's no. Baltimore's a little further up.
I was thinking of the.
I can't think
harbor,
of like
where the Navy is down there.
I can't think of the major city that's in PG County, but I never went in there. I mean, when you grow up in a neighborhood, you know what neighborhoods not to go into. Like, no, I'm good. I'm not gonna stop here. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Because I've driven through Homewood, made that turn. Because I needed to turn around. I'm going 2 blocks down. Exactly what you're saying. Like, You got the corner boys. You got, people like, hey, what you doing? Like, hey, who? Like, nah, I'm good. Turn around, locking my doors. That's just being situationally aware.
Mm-hmm.
Could you?
I'm just thinking of how much harsher that is in a place where there is lawlessness. Meaning, like, where you do make that wrong turn, you just don't come back out.
Yeah.
And that's how it is in some of these other countries.
Yeah.
And why we get these ransom videos is just simple mistakes.
Yeah.
And not being aware of what's going on.
Yeah. Or you got abducted children.
Yeah.
I just shared, there's one local girl up in the Meadville area that just went missing probably about a week ago.
Oh, not to take away from that story. If you want to finish that story, go ahead.
No, it was just that I just shared a post.
So another situationally aware situation happened to me.
Situationally aware situation?
Yeah, happened to me. Check this out. So I don't know if I've ever told this story before, but when I was 4 years old or so, my mom was babysitting another young girl, same age as me.
Okay.
And she was doing it pretty much full time, watching her. And so we would be outside playing, and we would run up and down the road. Normal kid stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I had this little tricycle that we would ride where the neighbors had paved their drive or their sidewalk in front of their
place.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah.
It was so smooth. So we would go up there, but it was probably 50 yards from my house. And I grew up on a street that everything was, your neighbors were 30 feet away from you.
Okay.
There was a decent yard.
Yeah.
But they were about 30, 40 feet away from you. And there were, I think, 14 houses on the street.
Okay.
So not super populated, but populated enough that, there were a lot of people around usually. So we were able to meander around, and there was always a neighbor watching over us at some point. One day we were doing this, and a car pulls up to us, pulls right across the road, and two guys get out. And they start there's a hill on the other side. So you got the road and then a little hill that there's a set of stairs to get up to the house.
Yeah.
Similar to what you have in front of your place.
Gotcha.
A little bit bigger of a hill though.
Yeah.
They go up and they sit on the sidewalk, on the wall that's on the sidewalk.
Uh-huh.
And they're sitting there and they're like, I remember them watching us.
At 4 years old.
Yeah, I just remember. I think I remember.
Right. Yeah.
I think I remember.
Well, you played it enough in your head. It's becoming a long-term memory.
And it's the cliche white van, two guys.
Yeah.
I just remember the one being really tall and skinny. That's what I remember most about them. But they asked us for directions. And for whatever reason, I got skeeved out, and I took that tricycle and had the girl on the back, and we're flying down the street.
Let's go.
And we go inside and tell my mom, and then these guys left.
They took off.
So I didn't know at the time, but I've run it back through my head, and I'm like, we got lucky that day.
So now that's it. Like, what was the innate?
But here's the thing.
You? Like, where'd that come from?
I have no idea, but here's the other part of it. Come Tuesday. This past Tuesday.
Gotcha.
It's time to pick up B from the bus. I usually sit out on the front porch and I have her walk down. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I do it, and the more I think about it after this situation happened, I'll probably not do it anymore. And here's why. So 2:30 comes by. A white van with two guys, and I don't recognize either one of them or the van or the license plate. It's an out-of-state license plate.
And you live in a cul-de-sac community.
Right.
So you know everybody in your neighborhood.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I know your family's cars.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
And
gotcha.
If I were somebody that were abducting kids, this would be the time of day that I would probably make rounds in a cul-de-sac to pick up kids.
Yeah.
Latchkey kids.
Right.
That's who I'm picking up.
Yeah. The 11 and 12-year-olds
Boom.
that are
in and out.
Yeah.
Get these slide doors, pop a kid in, here we go.
Yep.
That's the van I saw. Coming in my cul-de-sac at 2:30 in the afternoon. My heart starts beating out of my chest. I have no reason to think anything about that other than the stuff we talk about in class.
Yeah.
Talking to Ken Hillier about the things that he goes and he sees and the stories that he's had. Yeah. Shout out to the Children's Rescue Initiative.
Yes.
Thinking about all of those influences sparked something in me.
Yeah.
And I was booking it up to the bus stop because I'm like, that's if I were somebody
that's
that were going, that's the exact, like, it shoots out onto a main road, onto a highway, gone.
Done.
You're gone.
Yeah. You're probably what? You're not, well, let's say you're not very far from miles.
Nope. You're gone.
Yeah.
You get picked up from that bus stop, I am not going to see you again.
Right.
Like, there'll be a very low chance that I would see you again. Now, we do have, it's nice that they put these, so at the pilot station right down the road, and on the, I'm pretty sure they have them on the streetlights now, is not the streetlights, but the streetlight pole cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like one benefit of having that up there. But you're gone.
Yeah. So,
and I say this to B all the time when like I feel fishy about anything, or there's a situation where I need her to be super aware. I tell her, I say, don't get stolen. And it's a joke thing, but it's in her head.
Oh, definitely. So one of the things that we always talk about, either be it active shooter, woman self-defense seminars, classes, Krav classes, being about situational awareness and other things. Victims have said, I knew something was wrong. I knew this wasn't right. You just have to like know that about yourself and be like, all right, because you're not losing anything if you overreact to a situation or you get hypersensitive to a situation. You're not losing anything. And again, we don't care about anybody else's feelings. If I feel a certain way, I feel a certain way. And if it's not the case and I read it wrong, I'll apologize. I'll be humble enough to be like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make sure that my welfare, my family's welfare, my friends, that they're okay.
Yeah,
that's it.
People respect that.
That's it. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. But you do have people like, why? It's because I'm black, or it's because, like.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I get weirded out sometimes. Yeah. I don't know. I have biases.
It is why? Because I'm a creepy looking old man with a mustache.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's why.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is why.
Yeah.
Your outside demeanor is why.
Right.
So.
It's kind of like the people with a resting bitch
Blame
face.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
I don't know. Blame the movies. Because
well, it's not just like they're coming off of statistics. Like I can tell you the statistics for a pedophile.
Well, and here's the thing, though, too, that they say. I can't remember who they is in this respect, but I had heard something that the
capital T they.
Yeah, the profiling is super inaccurate.
Mm-hmm.
When on another avenue that I've been down before said, if it's this crime, they're probably driving this car and they work in this job and they probably wear these shoes. Like they've been able to dial it in that far.
This is where the FBI and CIA, like they have people just for this. Oh, there was a show. What was the show that it was a sitcom? Criminal Minds, maybe?
Probably. There's so many.
Yeah, it was a show and they were profilers. I mean, that's a job.
I know.
Yeah.
I would. And so here's my thing that I think about on this is all of the data that you're giving on this. So like you go on Amazon and all of your shop history is there. Your browser history is there. All that macro data that they're collecting is there.
Yeah.
And I feel like and this is what they're doing. The advertisements are based off of that criteria.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So they're profiling you as a shopper. So let's say they have all that data on all of us, which I'm sure they do.
They do.
And then let's say 1,000 of you create or commit a crime.
Mm-hmm. Like
all separate, but they're all a crime.
Yeah.
And they're likely similar crimes.
Yeah.
Now all of that data is there too. So if you are a burglar, you probably look like this or drive this or have this type of job, and they're able to narrow it down.
Or even down to this type of personality, what kind of well-being he had when he was growing up or she had.
Yeah.
And it's that's in there. You ever think
sure.
about some of the questions like, are you a divorcee? Are you single?
It all means something.
Yes. Yeah.
We would make those questionnaires in grad school, and it was like, it was one of my favorite things to do. Because you got to see so much in the way people answered these questions. I wish I still had them. I would love to share them.
Like you got sex, male, female, and some people put other, and then people are like, yes. Okay, this dude's a comedian. Like, he thinks he's cute, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And then you plot that on a chart, and you're doing a presentation, and that's the punchline.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Michael Scott version of
right. Yes. Yeah.
I'm on a Office kick right now since Holden came home.
Oh, I've been
watching The Office. I'm on season 5.
I wish they'd come back.
There's 9
Come on,
seasons.
Scranton. Get together.
I worked out with Jim before.
Jim.
From the show.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
So now he has another show with terrorism. You talking about that guy? Mm-hmm. He's like a stud now.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a show on Amazon. Man, I can't remember.
I've seen it advertised before.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
Great show.
But he was in town. He was in Pittsburgh. I was working downtown 2515. And he was downtown shooting something, and he was working out in the gym in our building.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Check this out. So another product that I sell, work talk again.
Okay.
Another product that we sell, it's a smart city lighting system.
Okay.
And this smart city lighting system allows you to shut lights off anytime you want to.
Okay.
Allows you to dim them, allows you to do all types of things. It's like an asset management tool. But the movie industry loves them because if they're going to shoot in an area, they want all of those lights out so their lighting can be the only light.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my wheels were spinning after I heard that application because I'm like, dude, there's tons of people going all around Pittsburgh to shoot movies.
This is true.
So I'm gonna talk to the guys over at Duquesne about it.
Nice.
Yeah. We've already had a preliminary meeting, so hopefully it goes somewhere.
Good deal. Proud of you. Growing up right before my eyes.
I'm always moving and shaking.
That's just what we do, man. I mean, like, but you know what? This week, and maybe because it was such a fast week, I'm thinking about how I was a little overwhelmed this week. It was I was like, man, I'm getting beat down, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, the last class I did on Thursday, you know, one of the students said, "Man, Aaron, you look tired." I'm like, "Oh gosh, thanks." Yeah. I was like, "All right, let's go." And it wears on you a little bit. I mean, going to school, got businesses, stuff going on at work. There's additional stuff at work because I do things with the Guardian Angels service dog program at my job. Great program. It's they give dogs to veterans, PTSD.
Any type of dog?
Yeah, no, they actually bred them. Yeah, they're German Shepherds, and so since I run the vet program in the institution, we teamed up with them. They're out of Florida, and our offenders are training these dogs to pass on. So the vets that are incarcerated are training dogs for people that are outside. So it's a neat little venture, but it takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of time on top of my additional duties, but it's something that, you know, we're all pretty passionate about.
Yeah. You should just buy them a big farmhouse and have them live in the farmhouse and train these dogs off site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Halfway house.
A nice halfway house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put them on a farm and let them go.
Well, some of these guys got pretty long times. Got one guy, he's a lifer, but it's one of the he's very into it. It keeps him going.
That's awesome.
He's going to be doing life in jail, and this is part of his life now. So he was one of one of the guys that I pushed to get into the program. He went overseas. He went to the Gulf, came back, a little quirky. But yeah, now he's got something to.
How many dogs have they trained?
We have 8.
You have 8 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you house them there? Do they bring them in every day? Or?
No, they stay with the offender in the offender cells. They get 24-hour access to them. Yeah, so it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. It gives them something else to look forward to.
Yeah,
like this lifer. I mean, he's looking.
Well, and then it also shows too, and I don't know their offenses, so forgive me if I'm being naive here, but if like they had violent offenses. Mm-hmm. That shows that they're growing towards like, you know, loving on people and respecting life a little bit more. Yeah, I could see it from like a psychiatric point of view too.
It gives them evaluation. It shows them a little humanity. It's not so much as a monster. They're not being seen as a monster.
Selfless,
right? And you know what's funny? We talked about this before, and when you give something a name, you create it a little more personal, right? So. Instead of me calling, you know, like it's kind of it's derogatory, but not derogatory. It's not a very politically correct word to call a convict. You know, that's just like you know, like convict. You know, I'll call him, hey, what's up, Johnson? What's up, Frank? You know, like last names. We don't get too personal. I don't call them nicknames or anything like that. But now I'm creating some kind of humanity to them. Because it's a communication business. If I want this guy to do what I'd like for him to do, this is what I need to do.
Do you think that's what you need to do from day one? Do you think they need convict for a while and then they get names?
No.
Or right out of the gate?
I give it to them initially. I'll be like, hey, Johnson, this is what you got. This is what you got going on. This is what you need to do. This is the programs you need to complete. And when that sets a good stage for them. I try to maintain that kind of professionalism, so let them ruin it. But I'm still not going to change the way I do things. You know, if other people want to call him convict or, you know, maybe I'll be like, hey, you're acting like a convict right now. Yeah. Then it gets a little.
And it's neat, too, that dynamic, because you've talked about good cop, bad cop before.
Yes.
So you end up being good cop a lot of the time.
A lot of the time. And some of these guys will be like, hey, now I'm not the greatest person in my field, but there is some things I do take pride in. Is you know, these guys, you're gonna get the real me, in jail, out of jail. The same way I talk inside here is the same way I talk out there. I was actually at Sheetz when I left the podcast last week, and I was filling my tire up with air, slow leak, right? So I'm filling the tire, and this car pulls up. It's Diaz. And I'm like, okay. So there's only a couple people that call me Diaz, you know, and it's most of the time it's not the people that I'm like, hey, let me go happy-go-lucky to see these people. Mm-hmm. So this guy pulls up, and he's in there. He has 2 kids in the car seat, and his wife's in the car. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Because it's situational awareness. Walking up to the car, looking at the car, nicer car, you know, sedan, family ride. And see the 2 babies in the back. But I'm always carrying firearms anyway. You know, I try to stay situationally aware. And he says, hey, are you still working at the prison? And I said, yeah. And then it clicked. I knew exactly who he was. And I was like, oh, hey, what's up, Jay? What's going on? How you doing? Are you work? Like, these are the questions that I have for him now. He's like, oh, I'm doing good. I started a construction company. This is my wife and my 2 kids. And he's been out for almost 2 years. And I was like, man, this guy got it, started his family, good to go. Those are good stories to have. Anybody else that may not have that type of communication skills, may not have that in them to show some humanity, walk off. Like, what are you talking to me? But he felt enough to say, hey, Diaz, what's going on? How you doing?
He was proud of himself.
Yeah. He was proud of himself. I was actually proud that he thought of me that way, that he can think out the box to say.
Well, because your bar is set at a level where he felt comfortable too. Like,
absolutely.
It made him uncomfortable to get past it. But once he did, he's like, man, now I see what Diaz was talking about.
Right. Yes.
Like, this is what's possible.
Yes. Yep. So
that's an amazing story, bro.
I like it, man. I like stories like that. And then the ones, because the ones that are assholes.
Because you don't get many of them.
You don't. My program that I started in 2017 in the institution, it wasn't like I wrote it or anything. It's a program that the institution wanted to start, and I was the guy that took the reins.
Did you volunteer for that?
Yes. And we have a very, very good rate of offenders not returning. Our recidivism rate is super, super
low.
Now,
what model is it based off of?
So it's a veteran service unit, and we give them we call them workshops. We can't call them program. Programming is mandated. Workshops, they're volunteer. The program's volunteer. So we have parenting classes. We got job resume classes. We got anger management classes. Classes that are set up. How is the COVID affecting you?
Like open groups.
Open groups. And we just sit and just have these guys talking with us, opening up to us, and getting additional
Do they have to do a certain amount as per their program for release? Do they have to participate?
Nope.
So they're
it's
all voluntary.
All voluntary. So they sign up.
Do you get a lot of people coming in?
Yeah. I started with 8. I've been up as far as 130.
Wow.
But we got a social
worker. What topic
worker.
got 130?
Say again?
What topic got 130 people to come in?
No, so the groups, individual groups, we get 6 to 14. That's about but as far as the actual integration in the unit, in the program, yeah, we've had that many. And then while they're living inside this community, this veteran community we establish, then they have the groups inside the unit. So you see where I'm at. So it's not, hey, I just want to sign for this group. You're actually living with other veterans, and
so how many max beds do you have?
126.
126 max beds.
Right.
Okay.
Right. 126. Right now at
what
about
do you
116.
That's what I was going to ask you. How many beds do you usually have?
Yeah. So right now I have 116 beds. I have some general population guys because we had to move some things around. But yeah, so full is 126. Wow. And we've gotten up there. We have a computer lab on the unit. We got a social worker on the unit.
You guys are expensive wing.
Yeah. It's all a program that they still pay my 8 hours. I don't get any extra money for it.
No, I'm just saying, I bet that's just an expensive way to run it.
Probably.
Having all of that. But that's just upfront cost. There's no like recurring cost on it. True. It's people power.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different philosophy.
Yeah.
Specific too for veterans. I don't know. I'm not a veteran, but that is neat.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like that involved. I didn't know that you had that many beds that you took care of. My gosh.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. We've done some newspaper articles. We've been on TV. We've gotten a lot of good press. And then when the Guardian Angels Service Dog Program wanted to think about incorporating in the Pennsylvania, it worked out. It worked out. We got senator backing. We got
How many of those type of programs are there in the state?
There are dog programs throughout the state.
Because it seems like that would be I don't want to say an easy. It's better than horses. Like that.
Yeah.
It's like because I feel like it's the same type of mentality of you got to take care of this thing.
Right.
And it's the same way with the equestrian therapy.
Yeah.
As far as I know about it, because we had that at the group home in Mars. We would go off-site and go to stables, and it was something, it was a job.
They had it at George Jr. too.
Yeah, it was a job that you had to show up for, and you had to make sure that you were being good all week so you would be able to do your job.
Yeah.
And
extra incentives.
Yeah, and sometimes it worked, and sometimes they didn't care. But I'd be interested to know how many of those canine programs are in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I think throughout Pennsylvania, I think there might be 10 throughout the state.
And then those
we have 2.
And then those dogs go into the police service.
So not the Guardian Angels program.
Okay.
We link up sometimes with animal shelters, like they link up with Stray Haven, which is another great nonprofit if you're thinking about it. Stray Haven, and they're shelter dogs, so they come and get obedience training, just regular run of the mill stuff. Whereas the Guardian Angels programs, like, you start to get more intricate. The handlers go through a pretty good, almost maybe 100 hours of actual classroom stuff. But Stray Haven is sit, stay, walking on the leash. Mm-hmm. And so the other program has that to include CPR, PTSD, cutter acknowledgement, mobility issues. So
they got dogs that can detect when your blood sugar is low.
Yep. It sends off a scent. Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
It is. What, man? They got 6 million?
Yeah.
Like feelers in their nose.
Mm-hmm. And the longer their snout, the more sensitive it is.
Yeah,
because they got
crazy.
More receptors. Speaking of time it takes to become something, I was looking at, check this out, rabbit hole.
Here we go.
So you want to buy a what is it? Jeez, man, a raptor bird.
Okay.
Like
I was thinking like raptor, the side by side, or
no. A bird.
Okay.
So to become just an apprentice, you have to work under somebody for 2 years to even be able to be considered able to buy a bird, and then 7 years to become a master handler.
That is a lot of time.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, vets too, if you want to be a vet.
Well, it was like 2 years just to be able to purchase a bird.
That's some. What are you gonna do with a bird?
You can hunt with it.
Hunt with the raptor.
Yeah.
Well, like small game.
Deer.
Get out.
Yeah.
So what did they like? They just let you know,
bro. I'm gonna pull it up.
Oh gosh.
I'll show you.
Wow, the rabbit holes you go down to be a raptor trainer. You take them on hunts.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Guided hunts.
Shit, what's the bird called? So it's not a raven, not a crow.
Why not just get a drone? Be less time.
Bird. Get a what?
A drone.
Because you're not allowed to hunt with those.
You can't hunt with a drone?
Mm-mm. You can't put a firearm on
Well, you don't put a firearm on the drone.
No, you're not allowed to spot them either. You can't use any technology, because I sell thermal cameras too, and I'm not allowed. I'm not even allowed to use the thermal camera to track for blood, because I could track blood all day with one of those, like a fresh blood trail.
Really?
Yeah, because it's going to be hotter than the background temperature.
No, I get it.
So
no, really, that, not saying really you can do that.
Yeah, really you're not allowed.
That you're not allowed.
Some places you're not even allowed to use wireless communication, because they think it's an unfair advantage. Think about it though.
But
if
no,
you're pushing deer,
I get it. I get it about pushing deer and having an unfair advantage. But we're pretty overpopulated in Pennsylvania.
I know. I just got permission to hunt a piece of land over in Harrisville.
Yeah,
it's like 54 acres or something, and they say that there's just deer all the time. I'm excited, but I'm glad that I waited to get my doe license, because
you're doing archery, right?
Yeah, they only allow archery hunters.
Good.
They don't allow rifle.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I'm like, dude, so nobody goes in there. They're like, no, nobody goes in there.
Yeah, and well, you figure you got 40 yards,
and they just got disrupted. The deer just got disrupted because of that big windstorm that came through. Mm-hmm. So trees are everywhere on all of their normal trails. So they're out of kilter. So it'll be interesting, because I don't know the woods at all. I got to go walk it. I use a climbing tree stand.
Okay.
So it's a little bit loud. I don't love it.
Yeah, done that. I told you about my falling out of the tree story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
my
climbing.
God. I text my buddy. I know what the bird is. I text my buddy about this the other day.
So it's not a raptor.
It's a raptor bird, but
Okay. So raptor as in the bird, not the actual name.
right. Oh my gosh. This is hilarious. Once I say it, you're gonna be like, yeah, no kidding. Of course.
Whoa. That would take some work.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys. I gotta figure this out. You know what it's like.
Goodness gracious. So, raptor, raven. I'm thinking
Falcon.
a velociraptor.
Falcon. A master falconer. My God.
That's horrible. I
Falconer.
thought you were going to say something really.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys.
Falcon master. Well, they use them for, like, put it this way, the Seahawks.
Falconry.
The Seahawks
Yeah, that's your team.
They have a.
Thank God for text message retention.
I try to delete many as possible because I'm pretty horrible with memory.
So I got the barbershop throwdown this weekend. Going to jiu-jitsu tournament on Sunday.
Where's it at?
Greensburg. I don't know if it's going to be live anywhere.
Okay.
I'm just going for S&Gs. It's going to be my last tournament of the year.
You're in it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be in it. It's an absolute tournament. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not going in with any high expectations, but whatever. I got some things that I want to try out, and I'm going to try them out.
Nice.
And if it doesn't work, then back to the drawing board. But I've been submitting people quite a bit with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like people that are my size. I've been able to escape a lot more. I've been able to submit a lot more. I mean, I'm talking like guys that I've never been submitting.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Or you're putting the time in.
Yeah, not this week. I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah. My body is like, it's capped. After that 50 miler, I didn't feel the breakdown of my muscles until about 7 to 10 days. And in that 7 to 10 days,
mm-hmm.
I was working out. And the 8th day, I ran 13 on the trail.
Yeah.
And I couldn't walk down the steps for 4 days. So
Just
my body
down.
was tapped.
Yeah.
Like,
but look how
it felt like I blew out my freaking quad.
Look how good it's
or my
gonna
calf.
feel because you're breaking the muscle down and
Mm-hmm.
it's building itself back up. You're gonna be
Well,
stronger.
I'm about 2 weeks from shutdown. Like I've done a couple runs.
Okay.
I've done a couple Peloton workouts. I've been to class and things like that. But I've only been to 1 day of jiu-jitsu, and I feel good. So I'm repairing for like about 2 weeks now. So I'm starting to feel better. But my calf is still blown, man.
When are you? So you guys on Sundays you have open.
Well, now it's an actual class.
Yep. You have class on Sunday now?
Now it's an actual class, so it's not just open mat.
At GC.
Yeah. We have 5 nights of jiu-jitsu there now.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking about doing a sparring class when you guys are there, and then we go right into a jits class.
Dude,
how cool would that be?
Well, that's how advanced Krav is.
Yeah, so
we're having advanced Krav going into jiu-jitsu class.
Right. Yeah.
On Wednesdays.
So it would be the same kind of.
And Justin's going to be teaching that one.
Nice.
So we have Jason on Tuesdays, Justin on Wednesdays, and Jeff,
Grove City,
and Jeff on Fridays
in Grove City,
and then Jason and Zach on Sundays. We have like 4 out of the 6 top instructors coming over and helping.
Perfect.
And well, not helping, but like teaching these classes.
Well, what I'm thinking, and I'll get with Chris. I think this would be really cool for you guys too. You know, you get some stand-up game. You know, we get some gear out, get some stand-up game, do some boxing stuff, and then go right into jit stuff.
Dude, it's an MMA gym.
That's awesome.
You know, that's what we're getting to. And we have a couple guys who want to fight, like Jason, that was on the podcast. He wants to fight. He just needs to get a fight.
Yeah.
So he's being promoted. There's other guys that want to do. I think we could get into a situation just because of our reach here on the podcast is like getting these guys on the podcast and talking with some of the promoters out there, because like there's so much talent around.
Yeah.
There's so much talent. And the sport is evolving so fast now. It's an actual industry.
Right.
It's becoming, at least in my circle, it's becoming very, very popular.
Well, and then
my circle is that circle, but
yeah, I mean,
there's
you
new
are the
guys
circle,
coming in. We got 30 to 35 guys a night for no gi. It's insane.
Did you guys' gi come in yet?
I don't know. I have mine.
Yeah.
From before.
No, I was thinking about the Valor gis.
No.
Those look sweet.
Yeah, they got big patches on them.
Yeah.
I like it. And I saw there's a couple. I want to talk to the guys at Grind, but I'd like to get some no-gis made for Monarch.
Nice.
Just talk to Chris about it and see if he would want to, because he orders off of that place, but they don't do the no-gi stuff, I don't think. They just did gi. So I know the guys at Grind do it, and they'll put any decal you want on there, sponsors and shit like that. Because I want Stars Podcast on there, baby.
Sweet.
And then put Valor on there and do cross promotion.
Yeah.
That's
just what we do.
The media arm, baby. Trying to get an LLC going, Rocinante LLC. That's going to be the overarching company. Star-Lord, the way he's got his stuff set up, that really inspired me to go the next level with what I want to do. So
nice.
Yeah. It's going to happen. Got my lawyer on it.
Good.
She's working hard on it. We actually have to talk about it tonight and tomorrow. But so that's where I'm at with it. It's
awesome.
Gonna be Rocinante. Right there. It's
what's it?
Do you know the story?
No.
So it's Don Quixote's donkey's name.
Who?
Don Quixote.
I don't know.
It's an old story.
Okay.
So the donkey's name is Rocinante.
Okay.
And it's this old donkey. It's not supposed to be able to carry anything, and it helps Don Quixote make his adventure and his travels. And this is just this old beat up donkey. And it came up again. So Don Quixote and Rocinante come up in my life a lot.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with the story at all.
It came up in high school because of my Spanish class. It came up in college because of my Spanish class. It came up recently in my sci-fi adventure on the Expanse series that I read, because the Rocinante, as you can see there, is their ship. It's the name of their ship, and it's an old water hauler that they converted into a warship.
Who's they?
They is the actually that was the Canterbury. This is an actual Martian fighter ship. Is the Rocinante.
What story is this?
It's called The Expanse.
Oh.
It's a sci-fi story. Yeah,
okay.
It's on Amazon.
Gotcha.
If you ever want to catch up on it. I think there's 3 seasons.
Okay.
But it continues to come up in my life, this Rocinante. So I figure, what the hell? May as well make a company out of it, because it's sort of my thing.
Bro, you're not even old, though.
I know I'm not old, but like at some point I'm going to be old, and it'll be cool to have
when you're older.
Like to have your company name have a little bit of root and story the whole way through your life.
Gotcha.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, no.
And then I want Alyssa's company, whenever she decides to make it, is Mother Goat.
Mother Goat.
Okay,
that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole inside family thing. But I was thinking about just names of companies, and I was like, yeah, I think I want Rocinante to be the name of my company that I make here.
Hey, I saw you got your AIM sweatshirt and hat.
Yeah, authenticity is magnetic. Yeah, Sean, I've been after him for a hat forever, and he finally came through. And I don't want to say finally like he was screwing things up, but he just got it.
I was about to say, like, where you been? Like he's it was just all of a sudden you started coming up on the feed with his stuff, and I think he's a good dude. I missed that last interview. I want to get.
We could definitely get him back. For sure.
Let's get him back. His stuff just continues to grow. It's really nice to see.
He's been doing this for years. Ever since I knew him, and even before I knew him, he was grinding on this thing.
Well, I'm thinking the short time that you've introduced and what he's done, like I've messaged him, and the only way I know him is through you and the podcast. So, yeah, no, he's
good people. His wife's good people. He's got
grinder,
2 boys.
Man. He's a grinder.
They're
like
good.
it. I like those type of people. I mean, you see us, our life, we try to put our things in everything, our hands in everything.
Yeah.
So that interview, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I would love to do it again, because that was like my first interview.
Yeah.
With somebody, with a guest, and I wanted him to be, because he really started me down the road of self-enrichment and
gotcha.
Kind of investing in yourself.
Right, okay.
And reading books, and because we were in a multi-level marketing thing together, and it just stuck with me. I got bit by that bug for a while, but what it did teach me was a lot of good soft skills and people skills.
Yeah, yeah.
And for what that's worth, I think has just shaped my whole entire life. And I attribute that to Sean Thomas, 100%.
Well, good shout out to Sean.
Yeah, man. Authenticity, baby.
Good
That's where it's at.
The good thing, talking about interviews, I mean, we just got interviewed for a documentary this weekend, and it's funny. So they split us up, and they asked us questions for this project, and I was thinking that we were going to do it together, but they interviewed me and Chris separate. So my answers really didn't match with his, but it's so weird because me and Chris, we talk about each other, we compliment each other, and it was kind of cool to listen to him say like good things about me. It's weird.
That's not weird at all.
Yeah.
We love that. We love pats on the back.
Right.
Of course, especially
felt good.
It feels really good when it comes from somebody you respect.
Right.
It's good from everybody, but if you really respect that person, it feels that much better.
So, the moral of that too, you got to really let your wife know sometimes. Be like, you know what, this whole thing would crumble without you. And if that feels good from a friend, imagine what it feels like from family or from a spouse that you're laying with for the rest of your life every day. So it's pretty nice.
Hug them up.
Pretty nice.
Hug them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Same thing with friendship too. You gotta let everybody know how much you appreciate.
I've been doing more of that. I've been doing more of reaching out to my buddies because I got buddies everywhere. Because through this corporate world that I used to live in is I got buddies in all cities, all across the United States. Neat. So it's nice that we have the communication tools to keep in touch.
Yeah.
And that's just something that I just don't want to take advantage of, or I'd rather take advantage of that technology than, take for granted our friendship. Gotcha. But it'll be there whenever I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's you don't know these people anymore if you don't keep in touch.
Yep, this is true.
Yeah. Which just thinking about that, my buddy, his wife was supposed to be put into induced yesterday. So I got to text him today.
Ooh.
See how that's going.
Life beginning. Love it.
He's already got 2 kids.
I got a thing for kids. I got 6. So I love it.
I like kids too, but I'd rather do it from a coaching perspective than.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I don't want them. I like doing my own thing.
You're selfish sometimes.
A lot of the time. I love people, but I just don't want those little people in my house living with me. I'll come see you. Come to class. That's where I do my best work.
Get your fill.
And then get your Ron fill there.
Yeah.
But all right, dude. Let's sign off. What do you got going on this week?
This week, I'm taking a trip down to Baltimore, go see some friends. So getting the Puerto Rican utility
takes more
vehicle.
Vacation time.
It's just a weekend
than anybody I know. He's been on vacation at least 8 times. I'm telling you, it's been 8 times. It must pay to run a good unit up there. I'll tell you. No, I'm just kidding. Giving you a hard time. Halfway kidding. Not kidding. Cool, man. Have a good time. Enjoy it. I have the Barbershop Throwdown 2020 on Sunday. And meet us back here next week. Same time, same place.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the journey.
So the journey has begun. If you guys listening to our content today had any kind of value or you were moved in any way, please feel free to subscribe, pass it on, let everybody know that these two guys are the truth. They're out here just trying to do good things to make good people. Thanks.